Dear viewers, welcome to True Will Stories. Today, you are about to hear a soul-touching story of a young boy, his mother's tears, an impossible journey, and a life-changing lesson. A lesson that teaches us the true meaning of compassion, sacrifice, and blessings. This is not just a story. It's a reminder that sometimes, when we think for others, the universe thinks for us. Stay with me till the end, because the final message is something your heart will remember for a very long time. In a land of dry hills and cracked mud walls, hope lived quietly in the eyes of a mother and the dreams of her only son, Arjun. Their home was poor, a leaking roof, cracked walls, but inside, love warmed the air stronger than any fire ever could. Each night, beneath the open sky, she'd whisper to the stars, "When will our days of sorrow end?" And then one evening, a stranger spoke of a sage, one who knew the language of stars and the secrets of sorrow. Her hand on his cheek, her voice trembled. "There may yet be hope, Arjun, find the sage." At dawn, with 2 dry rotis and a prayer, Arjun stepped into the unknown, carrying not just hunger, but hope. No horses, no carts, only thorns, sun, and his promise to his mother with every blistered step forward. That evening, laughter spilled from strangers' homes. But Arjun rested alone, under someone else's roof, dreaming of stars and answers. At the well, a gentle voice asked, "Where are you going, child?" And a new sorrow quietly stepped into Arjun's journey. She called her daughter out. A shy girl stepped forward, but she said nothing, for she had never spoken a single word in her life. She sees, she hears, but who will love her, marry her? The mother's strength cracked, and tears long buried found their way out. Arjun bowed his head. "I will ask the sage," he said softly. In that moment, he carried not one sorrow, but many. The road narrowed. Trees grew taller. Birds cried above. Arjun entered the forest, and with it, a world of riddles and saints. And there he sat, the saint beneath the great banyan, eyes closed, beads turning, waiting for no one, yet hearing everything. The saint opened his eyes, slow and calm. "I've prayed 50 years, he said, "but something still holds me back." "Ask the sage what stands in my way," the saint whispered. And so, Arjun carried another question on shoulders already full. The forest thinned. A lone tree stood in a farmer's field, wide and gnarled, casting its shadow like a curse. "No saplings grow," the farmer said, voice low. "Just shadow and silence." Ask the sage, "Why does this tree refuse to share?" Arjun's feet ached. His bag hung empty. But his heart carried 4 questions, and the hopes of 4 broken souls. And there he was, the sage, seated beside the river, as if he had waited centuries just for Arjun's question. The sage opened his eyes. "Ask only 3 questions," he said calmly. Arjun's heart dropped. He had 4. He closed his eyes and heard his mother's voice. "Think for others, child, and the divine will think for you." With a steady voice, Arjun asked, not for himself, but for the mute girl, the saint, and the struggling farmer. For the farmer, dig beneath the tree. For the saint, untie the gem in his hair. For the girl, her voice will greet her destined one. He left with no answer for himself, but his heart had never felt so full. The forest no longer felt heavy. He told the farmer, "Dig." The host struck something hard. Clay cracked open, and gold gleamed from the earth. Tears filled the farmer's eyes. "Take this, son," he said. "You carried more than questions, you carried our hope." Arjun told the saint the truth, and with trembling hands, the old man undid a knot he'd tied for decades. "I was chained by what I loved," he whispered, "but now I'm free." He placed the gem in Arjun's palm. When he told the elder mother the sage's words, the girl stepped forward, eyes wide, and spoke her very first word, "Mother." She spoke when she saw you. Her mother wept. "Then you must be the one." And in that moment, a silent soul found its voice. With a heart full of answers, and hands no longer empty, Arjun walked home, every step blessed by the ones he had lifted. At the village edge, his mother stood waiting, her eyes searching, trembling, for the answer she feared he might not bring. He knelt and said softly, "I didn't ask about us, Mother." Her breath caught. Then, "Who did you ask for?" "We have wealth, a gem, and a family that waits for us," Arjun smiled. "When you think for others, Mother, the divine thinks for you." That night, under a sky blooming with stars, sorrow gave way to silence, and silence became peace. In the end, the sage gave no answer in words, but showed Arjun the greatest truth, that giving heals more than asking ever could. Those who carry the weight of others find that the divine carries their own. Dear viewers, if this story touched your heart even a little, if it reminded you of compassion, selflessness, or the power of kindness, please like, comment, and share this video. Your one small action helps us bring more light into this world. And please subscribe to True Will Stories, so you never miss the next story that may change someone's life, or maybe your own. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching.